this video, I'm going to go over a different workflow process for doing a traverse balance and adjustment in Microsurvey CAD. The reason for this different workflow may be if you're seeing some odd results when doing it with your current traverse file, and this can happen due to extra occupied point records within the traverse file itself. So I'll show you the traverse file that we have here. So this was imported from actually two different FieldGenius projects. So we have lots of occupied points. These are just little spurs from outside our main traverse loop. But then we have stations which are going to compromise our main loop, and we have it going starting from point 2 going all the way around to point 30, which 30 corresponds to point 1, which is our initial backsite, and then 31 corresponds to point 2, which is our initial setup. So it is going to be a closed traverse. So I'll show you what's going on right now. So I'll re-coordinate the traverse, and I have point protection turned off at the moment, just because there's some extra records and store points in there. So we'll let it adjust the traverse there, so you can have a feel of what our traverse here is like, and you can see the extra little spurs on the sides. And then I'm going to do compute traverse closure. Say yes, it is a closed loop, and the closing point is 31. So like I said before, 2 and 31 are the same point. They're about 45 millimeters apart, and 30 and 1 are also the same point, about 47, 48 millimeters apart. I'll say yes, but we're getting this odd number down here where we have about 90 degrees on the angular error, which doesn't actually make sense for this traverse. It should be around 16 seconds. So I'll show you what we can do to address this. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of our traverse file, and we're going to keep in just the station records there. So I'll show you how you can do this. I'm going to start by just highlighting all of my station records. So if I scroll down here, our first one is from 2 to 1, and I'll just highlight all of that, and then I'll just move on to the next one. So let's keep going down, and this one should be from 2 to 7. Yeah, backside 2, 7. What I'm going to do is hold the control button and highlight these ones, so that way I keep it in my selection. And I'm just going to keep going until the end of my traverse file here. So I'll just pause the video and continue once I've got them all selected. So at this point in the video, I have everything selected with my last setup here. What I'm going to do is edit and copy rows, and I'll just show a quick summary of all the rows I copied here. I'll press OK, and what I'm going to do is make a new traverse file, and this one I can just call it just traverse loop here, and then I'll highlight the first row, edit, and then paste rows. So I have all my rows in here, and I have just the stations of my loop in here. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the closure based on just the stations here, and we'll see the different results. So I'll close this, and I'll run through the same process. So I'll re-coordinate the traverse. You can see it's already addressed that the first issue where it wasn't grabbing that top line there. And I'll compute my traverse closure. Close loop, 31, and I can double check it's the same values here. And now you can see that it's addressed the angular error. And just as a double check, I'll scroll up here in the command line. Here, I'll just make it a little bit bigger, just to confirm that it's going to the right stations from 2 to 7, 7 to 10, and so on. And then here, 20 to 30, and 30 to 31, being 30 and 31 the correspondence of 1 and 2. So now that it's done that, I'm going to do an angle balance. And I have point protection turned on, so that's why I'm not getting, I have it turned off, so that's why I'm not getting the prompts for the points moving. So now that it's done that, what I want to do is lock those points that we've adjusted, and then I'm going to switch back to the original traverse file and re-coordinate it, so that way it re-coordinates all those spurs based off my adjusted points now. So I can lower the command prompt now. I'll go to my active coordinate editor, and I know which points it is, so it's going to be point 1, point 2, and then I'll just start here locking all the points that were part of it. I'll skip ahead until when I have it all locked. So I got all the points locked here that were part of my traverse. I can close this, and this time I'm going to turn point protection on just so that we can see the prompts here. I'll go back to my MS Traverse, active Traverse editor, and I'm just going to open the original one, which I believe was this one here. So now that I have it open, I'm just going to re-coordinate my traverse, and it's not going to adjust my locked points here. And then I'll just get all these prompts for all the different points that are moving. So I'll turn point protection off just because there's lots of points here, but you can see that it's not going to adjust those points. And you can see in the command line there where the points were did not move. So just in case you didn't see that, I'll scroll up here. You can see points 1 to 19 did not move. And then different stages, we had different point ranges that weren't moving based on the traverse there. You can also double check. For example, points 30 and 31 locked points, so it did not move. So that's how you can adjust your loop separately without running into those issues where the angles don't match up in there. Hope this video helps.